Welcome to our RBdigital magazine and comics training session. As a library member, before you can see the content within your library app or RBdigital website, you need to create an RBdigital username and password. Once you've created your username and password, simply log in and you will come to our RBdigital homepage. So on the homepage, if you scroll down, you can see all of the content available at your library authority. And within here, we have a magazines carousel and a comics carousel. Both carousels contain 60 comics and magazines, the order of which you can dictate as a library member of staff through the back office or admin site of your magazine and comics setup. So as you can see on the carousels, you can instantly see the status of the magazine. So the cover image is the most recent issue of a magazine. It tells you the magazine title, the date of the current issue, and then the status being either checkout, it's available for checkout, or if it says read, it means you've already checked out this particular issue of the magazine and it's available to download. If it's in grey, download. If it's in green, downloaded, it means that you've already downloaded it. So it's available for you to be able to read offline. So you can scroll through the carousels, both for magazines and for comics. If you click view all, you'll be able to see all of the magazines or comics in the selection. If you go up to the top right hand corner, you can click on search, and that's the magnifying glass there, and it will give you the option of searching across magazines and comics. So if you clicked on magazines, and if say I want to look for Good Housekeeping magazine, I can start typing in good, and as soon as I've typed 3 letters, it will come up with 5 suggestions. Keep typing, and as you can see, Good Housekeeping UK now appears at the top. Click on that, and I can then see the latest issue of Good Housekeeping as it's available in this library collection. If I click on the title, I can then see the issue date and genre that it belongs in the top right hand corner. If I clicked on Home and Gardens, it would then open up all magazines within that home and garden category in your library collection. Down here, we have a description of the magazine, and if I click on details, there are further details in there as well, including the audience rating as well. So another option for me is view all issues. So if I click on view all issues, I can see all of the back issues of this particular title 12 months before the Library Authority first subscribed to this service. This is because if you start subscribing to the magazine, if you start subscribing to a magazine, we throw in 12 months of back issues free of charge. So you as a library authority can offer a complete collection of that magazine going back for a whole year when you launch that particular magazine to your library members. And that is across the board, across all of our magazines. The only exception is if you add a magazine to your collection that has never been available before. So it's a brand new title that's never been published before. So if you see with this example of Good Housekeeping, I can go to page 4, and in a moment you can see that it goes back to the 1st of February 2012. So as long as you as the Library Authority keep subscribing to that particular magazine over the years, you can really build up a great collection of issues going back for that particular magazine. So in essence, your library members never miss an issue, even before you first subscribe to the service. So from here, I can choose to check out one of the back issues, or if I decide, okay, I don't actually want to check out this magazine and I want to browse the collection again, I can simply go to the menu bar here in the top left-hand corner, and I can choose to click on magazines and comics here and choose magazines, and I can see all of the titles available for me at this particular library. And if you want to know how many titles, it tells you in the top right hand corner. You can scroll through page by page by clicking the numbers at the top. You can filter, which brings up the search again and the advanced search option, so you could search by genre or by language. To come out of that, just simply click the X in the top right hand corner. Then if you find a magazine, you can also sort. So sort by in the top left hand corner, you can sort A to Z or Z to A. So if I decide that I actually want to check out Hello Magazine, I can click checkout straight away from here, or like I did before, click on the title and look at the description just to double check that's of interest to me, and then click on checkout. And it'll take a couple of moments to check out, completely dependent upon my internet speed. And the first thing it tells you is Hello Magazine is checked out, and it gives me an option of automatically checking out the next issue when it becomes available. So this is a weekly magazine, so that means each week when the next issue comes out, the RBdigital app will automatically put that magazine in my checked out items, and this will create one circulation issue for this particular magazine, so it will show up in your usage stats, so that I can then, when I next go into the app, I can choose to download it if I wish. So if I click here, automatically check out the next issue, click OK, and of course this will mean going forwards I will never miss a new issue of Hello Magazine. So in essence, it feels as if you are actually subscribing to the magazine yourself as a library member, where in fact it is the library authority who is subscribing on my behalf. So like I said, it can sometimes take a couple of seconds longer to process this feature, depending on your internet signal. If you do find it's taking a little bit longer, what you can do is double click on an iPad anyway, the home button, or select the home button on your other device to come out of it, and then scroll up to close the app, and then go back into RBdigital, and then you will find that the magazine is there in your checked out items. Now, as you saw, I ticked the box to say that I want to receive automatic checkouts for Hello Magazine. And so just to show you where that is and where you can manage these, if you go to the top left-hand corner here, click on the menu icon, and then go down to My Account. If you then go into Settings, in Settings we have Magazine Preferences under the Preferences section. So it's just here. So if you click on that, and you can see here we have Hello Magazine listed as one of the magazines that I wish to be automatically checked out. So if I wanted to stop that at any point, I can simply untick Hello Magazine and click Done. And this will ensure that I don't receive any future checkouts of that particular magazine. So when you do actually get it deposited in your checked out items, you will also receive an email, a transactional email from RBdigital to notify you that that magazine has been added to your checked out items. So reminding you to go in and download it. So whilst we're in settings, just to quickly show you, in here under general, we also have the option to set whether titles can be downloaded by Wi-Fi only, or whether you want the titles to automatically download. So once you click on checkout, what can happen if you choose auto download is as soon as you get onto the internet on your RBdigital app, then it will automatically download in the background. So if, for example, you chose to auto check out some titles, the next time you hook up to Wi-Fi, if you've got the Wi-Fi setting to green as Wi-Fi only, then the magazines that have auto checked out will also be downloading for you in the background. Now, the reason why, as default, we switch that off is because library members vary exceptionally with how they manage their devices. Some keep on top of space to make sure they've got enough space on their devices to download things like magazines that can range between 40 megabytes and 400 megabytes. Some people rely more heavily on photographs and music, so may need to manage their storage space on their device a little bit differently. So would prefer not to auto download magazines or books or whatever they have on their personal device. So we set that as off so that we're not taking up all storage space on devices. And we also have Wi-Fi only set to on, and that is just so that we don't risk that people who have contracts that don't have a lot of data as part of the contract don't find their data's used up very quickly if downloads are happening using their data rather than using the Wi-Fi. So that is set as on for Wi-Fi only as default. So now if I click on the menu icon, again, the top left-hand corner, what I'm going to do is go back into my checked out items. So any items that I have checked out or have automatically been checked out will appear in my checked out items here. And as you can see, Hello Magazine is there waiting for me. So I can click on Read and it will open up Hello Magazine. And whilst it's opening, it will also be downloading in the background. So within less than a minute, you'll see a black bar pop up and it will tell me that the magazine is fully downloaded. So keep your eye out for that. So initially when you go in, as you can see at the bottom, thumbnails appear. So I can scroll through the thumbnails if I wish and choose a page to read. There we go, the download finished there at the bottom, it popped up. I also have a contents button, the bottom left-hand corner here, and I can click that. And much like the thumbnails, but differently proportioned on the page, I can scroll through and choose a page to go to. Up here in the top right-hand corner as well, we have what is called articles. So you can click on articles and actually you can choose to read the magazine article by article. So if I click on the inside story, I can read this in article view. In article view, if I click on the page, down here we have format. So if you click on format, you can then change the size of the font on the page. You can change the brightness. You can change the background colour, so I can make it sepia, grey, dark, or change it back to light. And you also have a text-to-speech option. So if you click on text-to-speech, what it will do is read that particular article out to you in the language that the article has been written in. You have got the option, as it is utilising Siri, to click on the global button here, and you could choose the accent of the person reading it to you, but it won't be translating it into a different language. Say, for example, you wanted it in a French accent, it will read the story to you, the article to you, in a French accent, but it wouldn't be translating it into French, as it utilises Siri. So you can change the speed as well. You can go forward and you can skip backwards. If you don't want this feature on there anymore, you just simply click close. Click on out of the box at any point to come back into the article. And you can actually scroll through and read all the articles in article view. Obviously, any adverts will appear like a PDF, and it won't be available as a translation. Sorry, as a text-to-speech, sorry. So if I want to go back into the magazine view, I can simply click this PDF icon here in the bottom right-hand corner. Oops. And carry on reading the article as a normal magazine page, where I can zoom in and zoom out by expanding my fingers and pinching them back in again, and I can scroll through the magazine. Click on the magazine at any point, and if I want to come out of the magazine and back into the app again to search for other content, all I need to do is click close in the top left-hand corner. And I'll go back into my checked out items, and as you can see, the magazine has now highlighted as downloaded underneath the cover image. So once it is fully downloaded, that means that I can go offline at any point and read that magazine offline, so I can read it in aeroplane mode when I go on an aeroplane, or I can read it on the beach on holiday without any access to the internet. Once I've once I've finished reading the magazine, I don't actually have to return it to my library authority. I can simply keep it in my collection for as long as I wish. So long as the library authority has access to RBdigital magazines, I can keep my magazine collection forever. What you've downloaded, you might wish to delete because you want to maintain the storage space on your device. It's completely up to you how you manage your magazine collection. You could perhaps, once you've read a magazine, if it's one that you want to have access to in the future, you could delete it, recheck it out again, but not download it, so you can access it at a later date when you've got more storage on your device. So all of our magazines are effectively unlimited, as each month or week, whenever there's a new issue available of that particular magazine, you have the majority of our titles have up to 2,500 issues that are available for that particular issue. So checkouts, sorry, that are available for that particular issue, that can be downloaded by multiple people at the same time. So you won't get any holds or waiting for a particular magazine. The only exceptions to the rule are a handful of titles, such as The Economist, where they have fewer checkouts per issue, and this is where library authorities often choose to purchase multiples of the magazine so that they have more checkouts available per issue. Now, when the next issue becomes available, the back issue of that particular magazine resets its checkouts available for that period of time, whether it be a week, a month, a quarter, back to the maximum. So if it's 2,500 checkouts per issue, the next issue will revert back to 2,500 checkouts available. And that will keep occurring until the fourth back issue, when it becomes completely unlimited. So further, for the third time, enhancing the fact that you will never miss an issue as a library member. So that's covering everything with regards to magazines. So if I now go on to comics, if you click the menu bar again at the top and go to the magazine and comics part of the menu, click on comics, and you can instantly see all of the comics that are available in the Library Authority collection. You can see there's 1,139 in this particular collection. Again, if you click filter or the magnifying glass in the top right hand corner, you are given the option to search. So if I search in here, it will bring up My Little Pony magazines, comics. And then if I go to genre, you can see all the different genres that are available. It's comics, and audience being adult or youth. So to come out of a search at any point or a filter, click the X in the top right hand corner. And if I see a comic that appeals to me, so for example, Disney's Alice in Wonderland, I can click on the title, see a description of the title of the comic, and click on details, the further details and the age rating of the particular comic. You can see, so with comics, it's a little bit different, where you have a checkout period of 30 days, as opposed to the magazines where you can keep them forever. So you've got 30 days checkout period. At the end of the 30-day checkout period, if you've not finished reading it, then you can always check it out again. So if you click on checkout, it will take a few moments just to check out the title for you. Again, it completely depends on your network speed and also the age of your device. So it's confirmed now that this title has actually been checked out for you. So you can click OK. It confirms that it's available for 30 days, and it also gives me the option to return it early if I want to. So if I click on read, exactly the same as magazines. When I'm reading, it will be downloading for me in the background, and a little black bar will pop up once it's fully downloaded. So there is this thumbnail at the bottom that I can scroll through to select a page of choice, or again, click on contents, and again, I can scroll through to the page that I want to view. You can see here it's fully downloaded, very quick. Click close. And also down here we have format in the bottom left right hand corner, but in this circumstance, because it's a PDF of content, they're images, there won't be any text translation, as we can't translate into an article view to be able to do that, but we do have the ability to adjust the brightness. So I can make it brighter, darker. I can also change the background colour, sepia, grey, dark, or light again as well. So if I want to move away from this, I can just click on the page. And if I want to move away from viewing the thumbnails, again, I can just click on the page and I can scroll through. like I would with a magazine. Okay, and I can zoom in and I can zoom out as well. So once I've finished reading that particular comic, I can just go back using the back arrow in the top left-hand corner. And you can see here that the checkout icon has now changed to say read and downloaded in bright green. So again, this means that it's fully downloaded, so available for me to read offline on airplane mode or out of Wi-Fi or data. So if I now click in the menu icon bar in the top left-hand corner, if I then go into checked out, you can scroll down and see that we have the Alice in Wonderland comic there available for me to read, and it tells me my expiration date as well for my loan period. So if I wanted to, I can quite easily click the X button here and return it early or remove it from my collection, and I can do the same actually with our magazines as well if I wanted to remove a magazine from my collection too. So one thing to note is that with both magazines and comics, if you wanted to screen capture any of the images for marketing purposes, you can do this if you're using an Apple device, as it doesn't have the facility to block screen captures. If you're using an Android device, you will struggle to create a screen capture, if at all, due to the technology within the Android device. But if you did want to do a screen capture to be able to promote on social media or what have you, if you use an Apple device or if you use a PC and stream it online that way, you can print articles or images or screenshot images there that way instead. And it is fine to use, so long as you subscribe to that magazine, it is fine to use for social media or other advertising purposes. Another thing that came to my mind when I was going over the comics and magazines is that the text-to-speech feature that is available for magazines is available on the Apple device because of the capability that Siri brings. Because Android doesn't have the same technical ability as Siri, we don't actually offer the text-to-speech option in that format section yet, but it will be coming in the future. So just to make sure that you're all aware of that. So if you need any help at any point, you can simply click on the help icon here. And if you click on the help icon, it takes you through to our generic help page. It has magazine help in here. There is also audiobook and ebook help, but so you'll be able to see that even if you don't subscribe to our audiobook and ebooks, but the magazine help is in there, and if somebody is accessing the magazine service and needs help, the help is there. It doesn't have a specific area for comics, but they act in the same way. They're provided by us in the same way, so it would work exactly the same. Up here we also have general, and this outlines if anything isn't covered. There is actually an email address here at the top that you can contact and get in touch with our local Leicestershire RBdigital support team as well. Within the RBdigital app, we've also got the option to log out if you want to here at any point. And then under my account, you can actually choose profiles here. And within profiles, you can actually add in additional RBdigital accounts. Say, for example, if you're sharing a device between members of your family who've also got library accounts through RBdigital, you can toggle between your different accounts using this feature. Or if, like me, you live between numerous library authorities, so have RBdigital accounts at different libraries who have different collections, you can toggle between the different collections here too. So that covers everything in regards to magazines and comics within the RBdigital app. On the website, you can't you can't download magazines and comics, but you can read them and access them online through the RBdigital website. So it's online streaming. So now I've completed the front end side of things for RBdigital comics and magazines. I just want to show you how you can access usage statistics. So you need an account to access the back office or the admin site for magazines and comics. If you don't already have a username and password for this, please contact info@wfhouse.co.uk and we can arrange that for you. So once you're in to the admin site, simply go across to the reports tab. And once you're in the reports tab, the place you want to go to first is magazine checkout. So first of all, make sure magazines is selected here. Now this works in exactly the same way for magazines as it does for comics. So you can click magazines here and see this view, click on comics, and it's the same. The only difference is that with magazines, you have the article search option here. This is a function that used to exist as part of our old magazine service. It's not currently something that's available, as we found it actually wasn't utilised by library members. So the first page that you want to go to under magazines is magazine checkouts. When you click on magazine checkouts, you can see that all dates and times are in US Standard Time. To choose the date range, bear in mind that it's in US format, so month, day, year. So you can choose if you want to look at October stats so far within our internal test site. As an example, I can choose 1st of October through to the 15th of October, today's date. And here I can actually choose to include zeros, include barcodes, so that's library card numbers, include library members. So just to cover, include zeros mean any magazines that haven't actually had a checkout stat recorded against it. I can include library, so if I'm part of a library consortium, so say I'm part of the London Libraries Consortium, I'm Brent Library, I can choose within the stats to be able to see all usage that's related to Brent Library, because the user will have chosen Brent Library when they first signed up for the service. And I can also choose to include titles that are no longer available for members because they're either no longer available because they're no longer published by the publisher, or it could be that you as a library authority have chosen to remove from your collection. Or I can also choose to include, this is a new feature, which is including the actual issue of the magazine. So you might see, if you ticked this option, you might see that the back issue of Cosmopolitan magazine had a few checkouts against it versus the current issue. So these are people who have maybe logged into the service for the first time, seen that they've got you've got all of these old issues of Cosmopolitan magazine and decide they want to check them all out, or as many of them as possible out, to catch up where the magazine's got to so far. So if I now choose to have none of the boxes included because I don't want to be able to see certain statistics where member information can be shown through this training session, I will then create report. And this, just simply by doing a simple report, I can straight away see the most popular magazine in our internal test account is Good Housekeeping UK. So with these statistics, you as a library authority will be able to see which magazine is issuing the most, and whether it's a monthly or a weekly magazine, and whether it's related to the current issue or past issues, if I'd also added that box. So it's a very, very useful report that I can then export to Excel if I want to manipulate it, or to a PDF. The next report that might be of interest is the turnaway report, and this is a report where if I put a date range in, if we have a magazine such as The Economist that has, I understand, 25 circulations per issue, if you find that library members aren't able to get a hold of that copy because you've only got one copy and lots of people want that particular current issue of the magazine, you'll be able to monitor turnaways, so where customers have got a message pop up to say no more issues remain of the current issue, please come back next month, then next issue, sorry, when it's available, then you can actually decide to up your number of copies of that magazine that you make available in your library collection. Again, you can choose to include the library card number or email of the user and include the library, so say again, part of the consortium, Brent Libraries, to be able to see that, so that you could actually contact the user to let them know that if you have upped your number of copies, that in future this wouldn't occur. You've also got a remaining circulations report here. So this is in a similar vein. You can create a live report and this report would be able to show you the number of checkouts that are still available for all of your magazine titles. So as you can see here, for example, if I scroll down where we've got 4,999, we can guess that one issue of Amateur Gardening has been checked out of the 5,000 that are actually available as part of this library collection per issue. So this is very good again for being more proactive on how well magazines are doing and whether or not you might need to purchase another copy to make them available to all your library members in a practically unlimited environment. So same, like I said, the same principle applies for comics. In exactly the same way, you have the turnover report and the remaining circulations report. As the usage for comics, I believe, is 25 issues per comic, so 25 checkouts per comic per month, which again, that resets to 25 each month. So in terms of the back office and reporting, that covers everything across the board. Like I said, make sure that you actually choose comics up here if you want to view the comic statistics, magazines if you want to choose the magazine statistics. If you have any questions at all about the RBdigital comics and magazines site or app, do get in touch and let us know anything that we haven't covered today or anything you need further clarity on. just email into us at info@wfhouse.co.uk. And similarly, if there's any questions that you have around producing the usage statistics as well, please email that same email address, info@wfhouse.co.uk. I hope you found the training session useful. Please do share with colleagues if you do find it useful, and enjoy the rest of your weeks. Thank you.